hi. This is Tim Huckabee from Internology on behalf of Bytes by MSDN. And today we have a special guest, the world-famous Tim Sneath. So Tim, I've known you for a long time. I barely know what you do. It seems like you write 10,000 emails a day. Your blog posts are famous. I read your blog posts like to learn all these Windows shortcuts in Windows 7 and all that. What's your title and what do you do?
Well, thank you for having me on, Tim. I run the client platform evangelism team for Microsoft. So despite the British accent, based out of Redmond.
Well, that means you're smart, right?
Well,
you have a British accent.
You know, people tell me that if you have a British accent, that gives them like an IQ bump of 20 points in terms of their perception of them, which kind of gets me over the traditional handicap of being a bit dumb. So it's kind of a good, it's a good thing. So yeah, so my team basically looks after all the things we call the client platform at Microsoft. So that's Windows, that's Silverlight, that's Internet Explorer, Windows Mobile, the Ajax libraries, anything that essentially either draws pixels on the screen or has a runtime that runs on the client. Those are the things that my team kind of look after. And
you do it from the developer evangelism side, but you have the customer side too. So when we have big customer wins in .NET, that's you.
Yeah, well, my team usually. I mean, it's me sort of involved in it as well. But yeah, so I mean, the things that we do in evangelism is such a funny word to use, right? It's sort of got all kinds of connotations. Some of them good, some of them bad.
Mostly religious, actually.
Well, there's definitely a religious side of it, and in some ways, it's kind of right. Evangelism comes from the Greek word evangelion, which means good news.
Oh, you are smart.
So there you go. So it's
hey, I took Latin.
It's about the only word of Greek I know. But yeah, so in a religious context, in a Christian context, it's used to talk about spreading the good news. I like to think as a Microsoft employee, I'm spreading the good news of the Microsoft platform and helping developers be familiar with all the things that we've got and know how to get the most out of them and hopefully be excited about it.
Right. So typical day for Tim Sneath. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's really hard to think.
Yeah, I know because we're working on a project together. But it's interesting for everyone else to hear what you do.
Yeah, a typical day is really hard because it's definitely the kind of job where there is no such thing as a typical day. But there's a few different things that the evangelism team does as a whole. We work pretty closely with a small number of targeted customers to help them build early examples of using the technologies that we promote. So. For example, at PDC this week, we've been showcasing an application by Seismic, who are well known for sort of writing one of the most popular Twitter clients out there. And they came to us sort of asking for help with building a native Windows application. So we've been helping them do that just by giving them a little bit of support in taking the full advantage of the features, making sure that they use everything to the best of its advantage. And so a lot of what we do is that kind of working closely with one or two kind of key partners that often wind up on a stage at a keynote event like a PDC or a Mix or a TechEd. So that's one part of what we do. Another thing we do is obviously the community piece, which is what most people see as the kind of external role. So that's blogging or it's writing white papers. Some of my team kind of get involved in other things like even things like the standards bodies or other elements which are interacting with the developer community at large.
That reminds me, can I jump in? That reminds me you owe the world another, the coolest WPF apps blog post. Right, remember when you used to do that? Oh, it's great. And you might as well do it for Silverlight too.
Yeah,
right?
Well, and the great thing is there have been so many great apps that have come out over the last year. We actually produced a little booklet that is kind of like a coffee table kind of portfolio, if you like, of some of the best Windows applications out there.
In paper?
In paper form. A couple of your apps in there as well, Tim.
Oh, cool. Well, not me, but these brilliant
here
people
we go. We're both kind of casting it off. It's
these
sort of
brilliant people that work for me. Yeah.
There you go. Yes. So
cool.
So we definitely should do an electronic version of that so everybody can have a look
I think that would be outstanding. And thank you so much. This is really interesting stuff. Cool. And thank you for listening.